Hey there everyone, welcome to Awkward Story Saturday. So, this week's topic will be cashiers. And I know what you're thinking, cashiers. Do you have an awkward story about a cashier? Well, yes and no. It's not really on the cashier's fault other than this one instance that I'm going to talk about in a few moments here. But usually, when I have to buy something, I kind of just like, oh man, I don't want to deal with a cashier. They always ask me awkward questions like, do you want a bag with that, sir? And since we're in California, at least the area that I live in, bags are kind of banned. Well, I wouldn't say banned per se, but you can't get a plastic bag anywhere anymore, at least in my area. You have to buy a reusable bag. Which, honestly, that's stupid. I'd rather litter bags on the earth for my convenience sake. No, I'm just kidding. I get it, but it was weird because when I went to like LA, they gave us bags at a grocery store. I was like, what? Because it's been a few years since that law has taken effect here where I live. So yeah, it's kind of weird. But on to the main story. This happened when I was, I should say, around 11 or 12 years old. I was really into Sonic the Hedgehog, and we went to this thrift store called Savers. It's a little out of the way from my house or where I used to live. So I was really into Sonic the Hedgehog, as I said. And there was hardly any merchandise for the game at the moment, or the cartoon or whatever. So like, I was really into the GameCube game, so I had every single one of them for the GameCube. And when I found Sonic toys at this thrift store, I was like, oh my god, I need to get these. But I'm assuming this cashier's kid or something was also a fan, because every time we went, she was working the cashier, and she was the cash register, I mean, and she was the only cashier there. So when I went up to buy it, she marked up the price on everything. There was clearly a price on the little bag of toys that had the Sonic the Hedgehog figure in it, because she'd inspect it first and then say, okay, this isn't $3, it's actually $8. I'm like, what the fuck kind of bullshit is that? And it's not a coincidence. I did this at least 8 times, and she kept doing the same thing. And then there was one instance where I was like, you know what? I had enough. I'm gonna use my awkwardness to my advantage. So a thing about me is when I stay too long and like at the cash register, I start to get a little sweaty. I don't know, call it my social anxiety kicking in. So yeah, and this has happened to me since I was a kid. Alright, so it's not a recent occurrence. I've had this for a while now, and I still do, but it's kind of like I get less into a panic attack, and now I know how to, you know, deal with it. But back then I didn't know shit, because this was like my first big awkward experience with that. So I was there, and then she told me, okay, this little plush toy of Sonic the Hedgehog, it's not $6, it's actually $18. And I clearly didn't have the money. And this was the first time my mom was all like, okay, here's some money, you go pay for it. And like, before she always paid for it, and then like that lady was all like, okay, this is more expensive than you thought. And my mom was like, okay, never mind, we don't want it because, you know, you gotta save money. So when I was just paying there alone, she did the same fucking bullshit to me. And clearly I couldn't afford it, so I didn't know what the hell to do. And my brother was there with me, and he just saw me sweating and panicking. And I was like, what the hell? I don't have enough money, but I want it. So I was just standing there for a good minute or two until she decided, it was like, what the hell? And then like I think it was a manager or something, she came to see, because clearly the line was being held up and she wanted to see why, because no one was interacting. So she saw the little plush toy, and then she's all like, wait, why are you charging this kid like $18 or something? I forgot the exact price. I think it was around $18 with tax and whatnot. So she's all like, why are you charging this kid like $18? It's only like $7. Then she's all like, oh, I don't know, I think he changed the price. I'm like, fucking bullshit. Like, how do you change the price on it? It's clearly like stapled onto it. I wasn't carrying a stapler. I wasn't going into Savers with the ulterior motive of stapling different prices to items. That's not how I roll. I was an honest little kid after the whole stealing Yu-Gi-Oh cards thing passed. So yeah, so the managers are like, why are you charging this kid so much money? It's worth half of what you're charging him. Cause like, I don't know. She's all like, I'm sorry, he probably changed price. I don't know. I'm just saying. This thing usually go for $18. I'm like, no. So the lady's all like, okay, you know what? No. Here, get out of the cash register. And she sold it to me for like $8. And yeah, that was the big instance where I was like super sweaty in front of a cashier. And another thing that happened, let me see if I can remember. Okay, so the same thing happened to me a while back when I was picking up some groceries for my mom. She wanted me to pick up two 2-liter sodas for a dinner, and then I went up to pick them up, and they were clearly like 2 for $1, right? My mom works at that grocery store too, so they were 2 for $1, and she knew this. But when I went to pick them up, I got to the cash register. And the guys are like, "Okay, this is gonna be like 4.52 or some bullshit. I don't know." He had that accent too, by the way. It was really weird. And I was like, "I only have $3." I was like, "Oh, then I don't know. I cannot tell you." Okay, you need to come back with more money. And I did the same fucking thing, because back then I didn't know how to, like, I don't have enough money for this. How do I respond? And I was like, okay, I tell you what, you just give me money and go. And it happened again at a McDonald's when I was trying to buy a hamburger, but the guy thought I meant like a hamburger meal. I was like, no, I just want the damn burger. So I only had $1.05, which is what it cost back then. Now it's probably like what, $3? And I was like, I just want a hamburger. Why are you giving me a meal? So I stood there sweating, and then the guys are like, oh, you know what? Fine, just give me the money and just go. So I got free. Well, I wouldn't say free, but I got cheaper things by doing that. I don't know if it was kind of a blessing in disguise, or they were just like, oh my god, I actually want to die for this kid. Like, what the? And I don't mean die like to save my soul. I mean like, oh my god, this kid's so fucking cringy. I want to actually die because of this kid. And yeah, but I don't know. Now I feel like I know how to deal with that sort of situation. I was really young when this happened, and now I still get sweaty, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm fat, and I walk around the store a lot, and then that's exercise for me. So I get sweaty real easily, especially when I stop and go to the register. That's why like now I just kind of like sitting down and relaxing a bit before I pay my stuff, just to avoid that perspiration. Because I don't know, I come from a line of sweaty men. I don't know if that was an awkward thing to say, but nah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. This has been Awkward Story Saturday about my cash register problem. My cashier problem with the sweating and whatnot. Damn you, social anxiety. I will conquer you someday. So, thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll catch you next time.